This is an album that I am very, very excited to talk about. Heavy rotation, non-stop listening. I'm talking about Babyface Ray and his new album, Summer's Mine. Now, for most people around the country and around the world right now, Babyface Ray has been a new artist to them over the past 2 to 3 years, I'll say, ever since the release of his album MIA Season 2, going into the EP Unfuckwittable, which really boosted his popularity. But to people from Detroit, around Detroit, in the state of Michigan, we've known Babyface Ray for years, over the past 10 to 15 years. We've known who Babyface Ray is. We know what he has been very capable of. And we've always said that if Babyface Ray got the opportunity for the stardom, then he would take full advantage of it, which is exactly what he's doing now. Today, we got Summer's Mine, 16 tracks. Features include V's, Westside Gun, Vori, Los and Nutty, King Hendrix. Very, very dope album. Like I said, I've been listening to it nonstop. Obviously, as y'all know, I got 4 songs that I'm going to talk about. This album was probably the hardest for me to come up with 4 songs to talk about. But I got my 4 that I want to discuss. We're going to jump straight into it. Let's get it. First track we're going to jump into today, track number 9, Skateland. Charge to the mix. When you found that bank broke, charged on the app. 2 dope coupe, 4 hoes crawled in the back. Niggas all cap, I'm for real. Check a nigga stats, check a nigga resume. The title of that song itself shows the kind of vibe it is. It's called Skateland. You know, that's a song for, the skating rink, the function. You know what I'm saying? You out having a good time with your peoples, enjoying life and everything like that. One thing I love about that song is the production. Topside, one of the hottest producers in the city of Detroit. That was a different sound from him when it comes to the types of beats that he makes. If you're familiar with Topside, you know he kind of got a little darker, maybe an old school New Orleans Master P, No Limit Records kind of vibe with the beat sometimes. And that beat right there was definitely different to hear from him. It was very dope. I wasn't expecting to hear the Topside tag when the beat started. So once I heard it, I was kind of already locked into the song because Topside is definitely one of my favorite producers in the game right now. Babyface Ray showcased that shit talk, the braggadocious ways, those quick bars, that fast flow. Very, very crafty, man. Very crafty. One thing about the city of Detroit and the rappers, when they hop on those type of beats, it got that 80s vibe to it, that club feel to it. Detroit rappers are very, very good at hopping on those type of beats and just riding it out and making a dog ass song out of it. And that's exactly what Babyface Ray and Topside did with this one. That's Skateland. Let's jump into the next track. The second track I got for y'all today is the opener, the intro to the album, Scarface. Listening to the car. I just cut her one time. Face why you ain't called me. My shorty said she want a ring. I put her in the heart. Put her in her friend zone. Think I want her friend now. Searching for an outlet, not looking for a handout. Yeah, wasn't stripping. For some reason, the intros on Babyface Ray's albums throughout the years have always taken you to a place where you know what you're going to get the rest of the album. He really sets a tone with his intros, with the openers of his albums. He knows how to catch the listener's ear from the very first song of the album, and that's exactly what he did here with Scarface. The one thing that I really, really loved about this song, though, was there was one particular part towards the end where he was basically saying, him and his squad team Eastside, they kind of ran things for a minute, back then 10 years ago, when the city wasn't really getting acknowledged with music and stuff like that. And he even acknowledged Payroll, Big Sean, Peasy, Dej Loaf. Like, he acknowledged all these people, basically saying, like, you can ask these people and they will tell you that, Team Eastside was a prominent figure in Detroit rap a few years ago. They were making a lot of noise. Everybody was hip to them. And this is at a time when Detroit wasn't really catching the eye from, fans and listeners around the country and things like that. I was very happy that he acknowledged it as well, because it took me back down memory lane. Being a Detroiter myself, listening to Babyface Ray since my days in high school and things like that, and having different debates with my homies about, what Babyface Ray could possibly do if he reached the status in the rap game that he's at now. And just to see him at this point, and for him to acknowledge that in the song, it really made this song easily one of my favorites off the album. So that's Scarface. Let's jump into the third track. Third track that I'm feeling off this album, track number 6, Lil Tyler Flow, featuring Los and Nutty.
You should tip me the way my diamonds dance. You can fuck the game if you want to. You know all niggas like my twins. Spin, fuck it, spin again. Another day I'm sipping, run again. I can fit that shit you living in, the shit I'm living in. Who you know gon' keep it 100 like Benjamin?
I'll be honest, when I saw the title of the song and then I saw Los and Nutty on the album as well, this is one of the first songs that I actually went and tapped into on the album. I don't like to listen to albums from beginning to end when I first listen to them. I like to go through and maybe pick out songs that I think are good just by looking at them and then just go off of that. This was definitely one of the first songs I listened to because the title, Los and Nutty, like if you already know, Babyface Ray with Los and Nutty, it's a tandem like no other. Their songs always hit. It's always a good vibe. It's always something that you can listen to day in and day out. That's exactly what this one is with Lil Tyler Flow. I love how Babyface Ray took Lil Tyler's flow, gave him the acknowledgement, and was able to make the most out of using the flow. Did a great job using his own style with the braggadocious swag, speaking some real shit and some shit for you to think about and putting it into the flow of Lil Tyler, because we know Lil Tyler has more of a laid back kind of feel with his lyrics. He more so kind of has more fun with his lyrics and the stuff that he talks about. But with Babyface Ray, it's like Babyface Ray has his fun too, but he's also going to sit back and make you think about some shit about life, make you sit back and think about getting some money, getting your hustle up, you know, anything like that to improve yourself. And that's exactly the way that this song feels when I listen to it. Definitely one of the songs I can listen to at night, cruising to the crib, full blast, windows down, vibing, just chilling. This one definitely has a lot of replay value as well. I feel like this is going to be one of those songs around the city of Detroit that's going to get played a lot throughout the rest of the year, because fans of Babyface Ray in Detroit love when he does songs with Los and Nutty, and that's exactly what we got here. Shout out to Los and Nutty as well, man. Two guys that are doing their thing around the city, have been doing their thing for the past couple of years. Be on the lookout for them, because I definitely think with this feature placement for them and Babyface Ray getting more exposure, this is going to open up more exposure for Los and Nutty, and y'all gonna be hearing a lot more from them moving forward. That's Lil Tyler Flow. Let's jump into my favorite off the album. Now, my favorite on the entire album, track number 7, I-75.
Got a bigger pop, and I let my mans eat, staying messed up. You would think my mans eat, came in our mouth, still for the plan B, bank account loaded. Niggas need to scam me, Lamborghini truck, put up that little SG.
Now, when I first heard the album, I brought this song back a good 10 times because the beat plus the flow sold me immediately. When Babyface Ray gets on those super smooth beats, those laid back beats, he's a mastermind with them. And when he does the flow where he's almost trying to sing a little bit, he's also a mastermind with that as well. He's very good at matching the vibe of the beat with how he's going to portray his voice and everything like that. It comes together so well every single time. This song reminds me a lot of Move to LA off of MIA Season 2, where he kind of used the same type of flow, the same style that he rapped on that one. It was basically the same on this one. And it just took me back to that time. You know what I'm saying? Like I-75 is really one of those songs that you gonna go back to a lot after listening to the album, most definitely, because the way I was listening to it, I'm like, damn, like this is definitely, you know, it's definitely my favorite. Like I knew from jump that was my favorite. And I-75, obviously, if you know, you know when it comes to that, because some people may wonder, why is the song called I-75? If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those things where we're going to break all that down. But if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the gist of it. I-75 is tough. I kind of hope that a video comes out to this one, because I always enjoy when a favorite song off of an album I like gets a video, gets some acknowledgement, everything like that. I-75 was super, super tough. Like I said, definitely my favorite. Shout out to Babyface Ray for dropping that one, because that's one of them ones for me personally. Definitely had to put it in my Babyface Ray playlist on my Apple Music account. You know what I'm saying? But those are the 4 songs I'm feeling the most off the album. Let's get to a verdict. All right, so looking at the album, top to bottom, this album had no skips in my eyes. Definitely the most complete Babyface Ray project I've heard in his career. I say most complete. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's definitely, I think, the most complete project from the production, the features. You know, that West Side Gun feature was very different. I was very happy to see that. That was a very different thing to see from Babyface Ray. trying new things. You know what I'm saying? Always a shout out for that. Trying new things, you know, reaching out to new people, working with new people. They came together well on that one. Fly Guys, I believe it's the second to last song on the album. Fly Guys, y'all go check that one out. I couldn't talk about it, but y'all go check that one out. I really enjoyed that one as well. But this album was full of songs back to back that just left you just amazed, I feel like. And to end the album with My Thoughts Part 4, dope as fuck. Because My Thoughts is a song series from Babyface Ray that has been going on for years. My Thoughts Part 2 was probably the most popular one. It's one of the ones that a lot of fans, you know, started to know about him more and things like that. But My Thoughts Part 4 ending the album was super dope as well. Overall, I'm giving the album straight up a 9 out of 10. The one thing that would have probably made this album a 10 out of 10 was maybe to see a Peasy feature or something. Maybe something super Detroit related. Like we had Detroit on the album, but it would have been maybe nice to see maybe like a Team Eastside reunion or something like that. Maybe, you know, just throwing that out there. That's just what I thought about listening to the album. Like it would be dope to hear, you know, Team Eastside together on this album. It'll be dope. But you know, that's why I'm giving the album a 9 out of 10. Production was fire. Every song on here was fire. Features were dope. Features were super dope. I'm very happy with this project from Babyface Ray. I'm very proud watching his career go from where it was to where it is now. Like it's really, really dope to see the growth in his music and the growth in his stardom and everything like that. Shout out to Babyface Ray once again for dropping this dope ass album. That's all I got for y'all today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it out with your peoples. Be on the lookout for the next album review coming very soon. And I'm out of here.